And we're live from the Firehouse Coffee Shop. I'm Eric Davidson.
And I'm Terrell Story, and I am not dead. That's why we're live. He's smiling and laughing. We love our introduction time.
Oh boy. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about control freaks.
Control freaks.
This kind of intertwines with episode 2, but more or less it's specific.
Control freaks.
Okay.
It's like oxymorons.
You're an oxy.
I am an oxymoron. More oxy than moron, though.
No.
But I don't know if I'm more control or freak. So.
Yeah. I mean, a person can be neat and organized in all they do, but I feel I'm the kind of person that is like, okay, this is my stuff. This is where it stays. This is how it goes. But more or less with other things, I don't really want to impose people to do it that way.
Interesting.
It's more control freak of my stuff. So don't mess with my stuff, and I won't go crazy on you.
So, maybe the question we asked today is, have you ever been called a control freak? Or have you ever called anyone a control freak? So, why would you call someone a control freak? Like, what are the things that you would identify in their lives going, you're a control freak? Or vice versa, what would be the things that people see in your life that says, you're a control freak? And is that positive or is that negative?
Yeah, because
Yeah, he just says yeah to all of that. Yeah.
it's something to talk about.
So, have you been called a control freak?
More like a neat freak or something. So so for like fine linen theater, I've done like the concessions or something like that, and we're just organizing all the snacks, like get them for $1 or something, and in addition to juggling around all the snacks and stuff like that, we're getting the money, so getting change and stuff like that. We have like a 5 right here, and a 1 right here, and a 20 right here, and like this other guy who's saying, hey, stop that, stop organizing the money, let's waste some time. Well, I'm trying to look for the dollars when I'm giving change in the future. I can't have just a random scrambled pile.
So he would rather like rumble through them and get to them, but he saw that as a negative thing for you to have it organized. Yeah.
Well, for a negative thing for me to organize it while we are going along.
Okay, gotcha. So it's the timing of the organizational piece that he was more upset about.
More or less, but...
So have you ever called anyone or identified anyone as a control freak?
I am fortunate to not be in such a situation that is like, okay, you are such a control freak, get out of my space. And I hope not to be, but I guess more or less to prepare for it and just be patient with people, you know. I like things to be very neat, and let's see, I put the podcast up recently on Podomatic.
Podomatic, right here. Podomatic.
And I like it to look professional-esque, not like perfect or anything, because we're doing this for absolutely no money at all.
Just for fun.
Gasp.
That little ding was also some cheese raviolis that I am controlling the time on. Wait, does that mean I'm a control freak? No, I simply set a timer to know when they're done. Ding! not identifying as a control freak.
So would you say you've been in sort of situations with control freakiness?
I would say that. I'm going to read a little bit from, I guess I should, it says 8 signs you are a control freak. I don't know that I'll read all of them, but this beautiful thing called the Interns Net tells us, yes, that was an intentional interns net.
A little inside joke of ours.
Yes. So, and the first thing it says here, control freaks rarely know that they are one. They believe that they are helping people with their constructive criticism or taking over a project because no one else will do it right.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see their controlling behaviors as symptoms of what's really going on. Their own anxiety has run amok. So, kind of what a control freak to me, it's related to trust also in an outcome. So, like if I could project a plan or an idea or a concept, and I either have trouble trusting someone that it's going to turn out the way that I want it to, or that I think it should, or that the people that I am doing this project for think that it should. So there's a lot of different elements there. So it is a trust piece, but it's more than just a trust piece. It is a piece where I am not going to be okay. There's going to be so much stress and anxiety that I can't handle life unless I know that the outcome is going to be this precise.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I see that it's not happening, or I can't trust other people to do it, then that's when I just step in and just do it because I have to, or I'm going to explode.
Yes.
Yeah.
I completely understand, because there are definitely some situations where it's like essential with time and possibly money involved, that there are deadlines that need to be met, but I mean, if it's done a little wacky, it's not gonna come out well.
Yeah. So, is it okay if I read these 8 things? They're kind of interesting. I don't know if we're on.
Sure.
Or not.
So far, my observation, a control freak would necessarily be all caught up in their mind that, oh, this is the way things must be done. My thinking is gospel.
Right. And can't operate or allow the project or the process to operate any other way and be okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, this is Inc.com on the Interns Net, and just reading it for conversation, not that it's truth or anything else. Here are 8 signs for your self-diagnosing pleasure. So have fun with this. Number 1, you believe that if someone would change 1 or 2 things about themselves, you'd be happier. So you try to help them change this behavior by pointing it out, usually over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? So trying to change someone else to make you happier. Okay, not for them, but for you. Okay,
Yeah.
Number 2. This is a great word. You micromanage others to make them fit your expectations, which are often unrealistic expectations. You don't believe in imperfection, again relating to our perfectionisms, and you don't think anyone else should either. So it's not leaving room for an imperfect process or imperfect relationship or anything like that.
It's pretty much an, dare I say it, obsession. Yes.
There you go. So number 3, you judge others' behavior as right or wrong and passive-aggressively withhold attention until they fall in line with your expectations. Sitting in silent judgment is a master form of control. That one's heavy. Ugh.
Gasp.
Okay. Number 4, you offer constructive criticism as a veiled attempt to advance your own agenda. So deep down inside, you know why you're giving the constructive criticism. It's not really just to improve the other person. It's to, again, show your agenda and get yours working. Number 5, you change who you are or what you believe so that someone will accept you. Instead of just being yourself, you attempt to incept others by managing their impression of you. A very interesting twist. I would not have thought of this one before. So, changing yourself to manage the other person's behavior. That's a psychological twist in my brain. So, number 6, you present worst case scenarios in an attempt to influence someone away from certain behaviors and toward other behaviors. This is also called fear mongering. I know.
Hello, my name is the Fearmongerer.
Welcome to fear mongering. I'm going to draw you toward my behavior. I think I just diverted everyone away from you then.
I am the Fearmongerer. Come to...
Number 7, you have a hard time with ambiguity and being okay with not knowing something. Yeah, I've been in those positions before.
Yeah, it's just like I more or less I like surprises, but I'm more,
Surprise! Oh, what a pleasant face. Okay.
but I'm still more of an analytical person, so it's like okay, I'm picking out the clues. Okay, what about this and that? No, I'm not telling you.
And number 8, you intervene on behalf of people by trying to explain or dismiss their behaviors to others. So there's some very interesting things to think about. You know, I have been probably called a control freak before. I'm not sure if it was a correct analysis or not, but I do like a plan, like for my family.
Right.
In areas where I would probably err.
Because
I don't like to make a change, an unexpected change. I don't like to have to make an unexpected change.
Yes.
I have realized it takes me, like if I have a day plan for my family, and let's say that they're an hour or 2 hours behind the schedule that I really, really wanted to do, and or someone really is dragging their feet, they don't want to do this thing or whatever. So that really bothers me because I thought we had a plan. So it's that surprise of knowing, oh, it's not going to happen now. Oh, you really didn't want to do that. Oh, we're really not going to do that.
So
And making that change is hard for me. It takes me a while to go around the curve. So more recent years, I have went, okay, you guys are going to have to bear with me. I was on a straight stretch and we were going really fast forward. And we are now in the middle of the curve, and I am trying desperately to stay on the road because I wanted to go straight. But instead, we're turning left. So hold on, give me some time. I'm making this turn. So that's some area where maybe I had control or have control freak tendencies.
if I may interject a
You
question.
may. I may have talked more than I planned.
No.
Oh,
Good conversation.
it's okay because you're not a control freak? It's okay if I talk more?
No,
Unexpectedly?
I'm an analytical observer.
No. I thought you were going to say analytical genius.
Or genius.
I also have cheese raviolis
Oh, thank you.
that we're
Don't munch too loudly.
testing out. Ooh, hot cheese. Baby. Right here on Kitchen Talk.
Hot cheese.
It's
baby.
4 cheese raviolis dipped in some marinara sauce, cooked by this fabulous Farberware air fryer. We absolutely love these things. We are a grease-free establishment. We do not fry anything in grease.
No.
It's air frying.
No.
Just a side note, we like to be control freaks and control our grease intake. He's chewing now, and smiling.
I'm a very polite person because I don't talk with my mouth full.
So I'm going to eat something to keep my mouth shut.
So my question, I was going to interject. Do you know when you're working out some sort of plan like that? Do you know for certain you communicated it thoroughly?
Oh, um, hmm, it's a very good question. In my mind, yes, but in reality, maybe everyone didn't know what was going on or what was expected or what was planned. It's very quite possible.
Okay.
There's many times that I swear I've said some words that evidently never came out of my mouth, and they're like, "That's the first time I've ever heard that." And I'm like, no, but maybe in reality it is.
Sure.
Maybe I spoke it and they didn't hear it or weren't listening, so therefore they didn't hear it. Or maybe I just thought about it and intended to share that information and never did. It's a great point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, I would see myself as the kind of person that's like, okay, the plan for this. So, what's the agenda going to be for tomorrow? What are we going to do to such and such? Because I don't know. I like putting the pieces all together. I like being, doing stuff actively, and I'm not meaning that I should be just like work, energy all the time. But I mean, more or less all day, I've got to be doing something.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a constant sort of energy level.
And it does feel good to be able to do the things you have planned on your agenda, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
And get them accomplished. Actually,
Yeah.
get them accomplished.
So Eric and I both, I believe, are what we call a to-do list and checklist. Check off our list, fellows. Like we have a list in our brain or on paper of our day's intentions and activities. And if we don't get them done, it's a little bit annoying because it feels like failure to me. How about you?
It's not necessarily failure, but it's just
Disappointment?
inconsistency, and it's like crud. I just wasted time.
Gotcha. So, I do observe from Eric, he does like a plan because we talk about what we're going to talk about, or if we're going to talk about anything at all. How's it looking for Friday? How's it looking for this day? It's good communication, and part of that is so we can come up with a plan so that we can execute it. And we like to know ahead of time if our plan is going to be changed.
But as we are recording right now, we're just conversing. So it's like, oh, here's the topic. Carol might read a prompt of 8 facts from the internet or something.
Internsnet.
Internsnet.
Inc.com.
Internsnet. I still can't spell facts.
Oh, Inc was I-N-C, by the way, not the I-N-K.
Incorporated. So, but, let's see, yeah, episode 2, and this episode right now, I think also the last episode with Jonathan.
Which was lovely to have, by the way.
Very lovely to have. That was also more or less on the fly. So, more or less, I can improvise, but there has to be, some sort of plan, groundwork with that.
I think one of the things that I have a concern about, like, control freak is thrown out there many times by people who are just not getting their way.
Yeah.
And who are pushing back against a plan. And it isn't necessarily that they really do see you as a control freak, but sometimes that word is misused. Again, like bipolar. A lot of people go, "Oh, I'm just bipolar," or you say, "Oh, I'm brain dead today." You're really not brain dead.
Or it's like, "Oh, I have a OCD moment,"
right?
Or something
Exactly.
Like, you people, you're not doing your research. You're not doing your research.
But each one of those things that I read off are very. There's a couple of them that I read. I will not divulge, but I went, "Oh, huh." I could see how people would think, some of those things with me, if something is not going my way in my home, or someone's behavior is a little different than expected or than desired,
Mhm.
I would sometimes have a tendency and still do to like pull away and be either silent or quiet to wait for a situation to change. Now, I don't know if that is right or wrong necessarily. I think it's the word manipulation
Mhm.
that is the key factor there. If I'm doing it to manipulate, to get my way, I think that's one thing. If I'm just pausing to process what is going on
Yeah.
and to have an appropriate response to the unexpected or undesired reaction from the other person, I think that's a little different.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that I do more of the pausing so that I have a more professional, acceptable behavioral response to something that I find either offensive or undesirable.
Yeah.
I hope. Maybe I don't. Ask my wife and children; they probably tell you something different.
An important lesson to learn in life is you got to be flexible with some things.
That's why I do yoga. And there
Yeah.
is yoga of the mind.
You may not like it. But you got to be flexible. If you're into yoga or something
Very
like that,
zen.
great. Whatever rocks your
Feng
boat.
shui.
Whatever rocks your boat. But yeah, whether that may be a boss, parent, spouse, or someone in authority, you got to be flexible with them.
So do yoga.
No,
Check it out, yoga.com.
just trial and error. Trial and error. Within.
Actually, grace is a good word also to put in there. Grace. Have grace over
Like-
people.
Amazing grace.
How sweet. We paused.
Okay.
So ask yourself, are you a control freak?
Or
Do you have control freak tendencies?
Or do you know someone in your life that seemingly is a control freak?
Yeah. And what would you do about it?
Something to ponder on. Do we want to wrap up this episode?
We do. May I wrap up with some things? There are little pointers here that are on eek.com that I think would be a great
Mhm.
outtakes at the very end here. So if you think that you are struggling with that, or if you want to improve on stuff and things and responses, here's some great advice for me that I'm going to take and share with you today.
Aw.
So, number 1, be vulnerable with people. Number 2, never compromise your self-respect by altering your core beliefs. Number 3, be realistic about your expectations of others. 4, quit the passive-aggressive nonsense and be direct. Number 5, accept that a large portion of life is laced with a lot of unknowns. Hallelujah, glory to God. Jesus spoke in the highest just then.
And all the people said,
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Amen. Amen.
I got 2 more, sorry. Amen, we're going to continue. Embrace confrontation.
Hmm.
That's harsh. It really is sometimes the only thing you can do. And the final one that I will be quiet about. Take responsibility for your own happiness.
With great happiness comes great responsibility.
Wow. And there you have it.
There you go.
Live from the Firehouse Coffee Shop, 103 East Hardy, St. James, Missouri, 65559. And that's where we love you. We love others. And we're just going to try not to be control freaks.
We'll try not to. All right.
Adios.
I'm Eric Davidson.
And I'm Terrell Story.
And we're signing out. All right.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.